You mentioned Carl Nassib taking a personal day yesterday. Here's Mayock explaining Nassib's situation in relation to the black players on the team who may have, some stuff to kind of come to terms with after seeing what Gruden said, too. Here's the difference between Nassib and the others, as explained very well yesterday by Mike Mayock.
Carl Nassib. He and I spoke yesterday a couple of times, spoke again today. We're going to meet later this afternoon. He requested a personal day today. He just said he's got a lot to process. There's a lot that's been going on the last few days. And, of course, we support that request. I've talked to several of the black players. Okay? I think we've reached out to a bunch of players, black and white. Everybody's got emotions and feelings. I've talked to some of the people in my department that are black and my director of pro scouting. And I just said, DJ, I can't put myself in your shoes. Help me. Okay? So we've spent a pretty good amount of time trying to help these guys and talk with these guys, and not talk out at them, but with them. And the other thing I would say is just for Carl, let's be honest, he's a community of one that's openly gay. Okay, we do have a large community of African American players, and we're trying to do everything we can for that community as well. Obviously, it started there. Okay, nobody's forgetting that. We're talking, and I'm trying to work with everyone, and we're going to continue to do that.
As to Carl Nassib, I think there are two realities here that made his decision to stay away for now a prudent one. Number one, and the great irony here, Chris, is that when Michael Sam came out before the 2014 draft, one of the backward-ass reasons for not wanting him on the team, as articulated by some, was distraction. Don't want to have all the other guys in the locker room having to answer questions all the time about Michael Sam. And we hear that distraction label used to justify not signing guys that a team doesn't want to do business with. Now, you got Carl Nassib, as a result of the distraction created by his coach, in a position where whenever he walks through the doors again, he's going to be inundated with media,
no doubt,
that want to talk to him about this. Right. So let's give him some time to figure out how he wants to deal with it. And maybe the passage of time takes some of the steam out of it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not as zealous and aggressive as it would be. So I think that's smart. The other side of it too, Chris, and this is something I think you and I talked about. Okay, so Gruden's out, and Rich Bisaccia is now the head coach, who is tight with Gruden. And Bisaccia is going to tell me all the things to my face that Gruden told me to my face. So if I now am dealing with the fact that I couldn't believe a damn thing Gruden was telling me about whether and to what extent he accepts me, why should I believe Bisaccia or anybody else in this organization?
Yeah.
Who can I truly believe?
Right.
Who can I truly trust when Gruden, who has the well-earned reputation for being two-faced, the ultimate two-faced move as it relates to anything and everything he's said to Carl Nassib since Nassib came out. So if I'm Nassib, I'm doubting everyone in the organization right now.
Yeah, it's a
and
good point.
I need to have every single person start over again and rebuild trust with me. And even then, I won't know after the Gruden emails.
No, I mean, you're right. You're not. All you can do is kind of take it for what it is. You got to have a little faith in just, what you see in people. Now, again, like Rich Bisaccia, man, he's as stand-up as I've ever been around. So I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Like, as stand-up as I've ever been around. The kind of guy where I'd be like, you give me 5 coaches in football who I had to babysit my kids, or like I had to trust to, like, me and my wife got to go. Like, he'd be that guy. He's that guy. So not just because you work for a guy doesn't make you aligned with his personal thoughts. Hey, it's hard to get a job in the NFL. You try to just, hey, the guy, we got a good working relationship and it stays to work and we talk work and everything, like that. Okay, it's good. But, I think there's plenty of people in that organization and on that coaching staff that, knew what Gruden was to a degree, and they don't align with his thoughts, but they're not going to, ruin their careers and their lives over the fact that they know that guy in a private room might be a little psycho and say some things that are just stupid or harmful or mean to people. They know that, but that does not make them that either. You know, hey,
right.
So there is, you got to be like, I know it's hard to say. It's easier said than done. And Carl Nassib, I would think those thoughts are very natural. There's no doubt about that. But I do think there was at least a lot of people in that organization were like, okay, Gruden's, you know, he's energetic. He knows a lot of football. He's smart, but he's a weird, crazy guy, right? And then listen, it's not like there wasn't assistant coaches in Tampa Bay that were the same way. And so it's work-life separation there. And let's not pin those coaches to, because they worked with Gruden, they think like him. No, that's not true. And I'll stand on a table for Rich Bisaccia all day long.
Well, and that's fine, but you're not Carl.
I know.
Nassib
I know. It's easier said than done. I got it.
Where you're forced to go back and question everything.
Yes, I get it.
Everything.
I know.
Unless he was able to sniff Gruden out on his own. And there's a chance that the people that interact with Gruden on a regular basis, some of them, even if they're in their 20s, even if they haven't been around a lot of different people in their lives, they sense something different about Gruden, and they've always kind of had their doubts. I wonder whether Carl Nassib. I remember we showed the statement yesterday from Gruden that back in June when he made that statement about Carl Nassib, I thought there's just something weird about this. Maybe Carl Nassib already had kind of a vibe from Gruden, so maybe it'll be easier for him to pivot to somebody he didn't get that vibe from. But regardless, it makes sense for him to fully process this,
100%.
to not be one of the ones who's dealing with the media, to let it die down a little bit, and then come back and get back to football.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.